¿No sirve de bajar algo?
Okay, your batch number, as we discussed yesterday, it is going to be 641, and we are going to start Excel today, right? So I hope all of you are good with the basics of Excel. Yes? What is it we learned yesterday? There is no basic Excel, there is no advanced Excel. It's just simply Excel, right? So we have some, big content for Excel. It definitely takes a good amount of time. Yeah. So we'll go step by step. We'll try to understand what is Excel interface, and a few of the things probably you may be aware of those things. I understand a few of you are working professionals already. So I just need to make sure everyone is on the same page by end of these sessions. So I'll discuss a few of the very fundamentals of Excel. Okay, our training starts. What is Excel? Okay, our training starts with what is Excel. So Excel is a spreadsheet application, right? From Microsoft. There are so many other spreadsheet applications available in the market, but most commonly used application is Excel. Almost every company, right? You right from a process associate to the CEO of the company, all of them dependent on Excel. Okay. So as part of this Excel, we discuss the data analytics stages also. These stages are common in every application or every report development. Okay. Be it Power BI application you use and you develop a report, you do the same thing. Excel, you develop a report, you do the same thing. Tableau, you do the same thing. ClickSense, you do the same thing. So we start with the data, and the data can come from different sources, and we transform the data into meaningful information. We write different calculations to summarize the data. We also use the pivot tables, and then we create the dashboards to visualize the data. As part of Excel, also we do a couple of projects. So there we create one project, one dashboard showing the profit information. The other dashboard is there. It's a production related dashboard. This pharmacy production dashboard. Okay, so there is one more dashboard. So we'll discuss any one of those dashboards along with attendance tracker creation. So different projects we do. And once the reports are ready, visualizations are ready, what is it we try to do? We analyze it, like what's happening in my business, right? And finally, we print product share. This is what we do in Excel as part of our training program. Fine then. So let us start with our Excel training. Excel is a spreadsheet application from Microsoft, right? Well, just now we discussed this. Okay. Why do we use Excel? Okay, Excel is a spreadsheet application from Microsoft, and yeah, there are so many other applications also. But why do we use Excel? We use Excel for three main reasons. We store the data, we do the calculations, and we analyze the data. Broadly, we store it, we do the calculation, and we analyze it. Every business requires that only, right? They want to store some data. After storing the data, what is it they need to do? Write the calculations, right? To see what's happening. And finally, we analyze the data. History of the spreadsheet. Spreadsheets are not new. Spreadsheet is nothing but an interface where you have the rows and columns. Okay, the sheet that you see on the screen also has the rows and columns. So you can call it as a spreadsheet, right? So this spreadsheet technology is not a new one. It's been there. 1978. I don't know how many of you are born there. I think you were not even born, right? Yes or no? 1978. None of us. Yeah, that much old. And when it comes to Excel, Excel was released in 1985. From Microsoft, it was released in 1985. The very first version of Excel they named it as Multiplan. The very first version name is not Excel actually. It's Multiplan. Okay. And from the second version onwards, Microsoft renamed it to Excel. So since then, it is named as Excel only. Excel, I know it, from Office 97 version onwards, MS Office 97. Yeah. Do we have any competitors to Excel? No. Why no? I'll tell you a simple example here. I want to buy an AC. Tell me a few brands, please. Voltage. Whirlpool. LG, Samsung, Cartridge. Maybe at 10 seconds, you can come up with 5 different names. I want to learn a reporting tool like Excel, wherein I want to create dashboards, I want to create pivot tables and all. Suggest a few other application names. They work like Excel. Tell me, do you know any reporting tool that works like Excel? No? Okay. So we have from Google Sheets we have. Google Sheets, you heard? I mean, it's almost like Excel kind of an interface only wherein you can write the formulas, you can do so many other things. And from Oracle, you have OpenOffice Calc from Oracle. LibreOffice you have. IBM Lotus 123 you have. All these things are spreadsheet applications only. We don't even know the names. If you don't even know the names, how can you call it as a competitor? There is no competition. Any place you go, Excel only. And the terminology that we use here in Excel is this. You have a cell. What is a cell? A cell is an intersection between row and a column. You know, column and a row, you can say at this point. What is a cell? A cell is an intersection point between a column and a row. The columns are ABCDs, rows are 1, 2, 3, 4. So currently we are on the cell C24 that you can find in the name box. That's called name box. In the name box, you have the cell address. The cell address is a combination of a column C, row 24. That's the intersection that is C24. Okay, fine. Then what is this cell address? D22. What is the column there? D. What is the row there? Perfect. And how about this? C28. Now you are in a position to identify what is the cell address, right? Then how about this? C21 to C27. This is how we write it. C21 to C27. This is not a cell address. This is a range address. What is a range? Collection of cells is one range. Now I'm not pointing to one cell, right? Earlier I asked about one cell and you answered, but now I'm showing collection of cells, right? Almost like 7 cells are there in this collection, right? So what is this collection? Is a range. What is a range address? C21 to C27. Okay. How about this? Is it a range? Yes. C21 to C21 to D27. Because it is also covering the next column. So understand, whenever it is a single intersection, it is a cell. But if you are selecting multiple cells, it is a range. And the range address looks like this, C21 to D27. Okay, that's a range address. That colon is there, right? We use it for 2. It is from 2. Okay. All right. Now you know what is a cell, what is a range, then what is a worksheet? A worksheet is nothing but all these things cells together is one worksheet. Currently, where are we? We are in the advanced Excel worksheet. We have about, Excel UI, custom UAT, all these things are the different sheets available. These are worksheets. Then the next one is a workbook. What is a workbook? All these sheets together, they form one workbook. And the workbook name is 01 Excelytics Excel Training. That is the workbook name. Okay. So don't get confused. It's a cell, it's a sheet, it's a workbook. Most of us, we get confused between the sheet and the book. Worksheet and a workbook. We use this as a workbook. No, it is incorrect. It is not a workbook. It is a worksheet. Then what is a workbook? Workbook is a file. This is a workbook. Inside the workbook, we have the worksheets. Inside the sheets, we have the cells. So let's try to understand the same thing in the object model of Excel. So in this object model, if you observe, the application that we are using is Excel application. Inside Excel application, what do we have? Workbooks we have. Inside workbooks, what do we have? Worksheets. Inside the sheets, what do we have? Cells. Along with the cells, we have the charts, shapes, pictures, pivot tables, so many things inside the worksheet. So for now, you just understand Excel application, workbook, worksheet, cells, along with the cells, so many other things also present. Okay. And coming to these workbooks, I think you understood what is a workbook, right? So a workbook is a file, and a file that has so many sheets. That's one file for us. Each and every file in computers, each and every file has an extension, a file extension. Okay. The best example to understand the file extensions is, let's say, .jpeg. Do you know what is a .jpeg file extension file? Which type of file is it? .jpeg file. Which type of file is it? Image. .jpeg is a picture file, right? It's a picture. It's an image. Okay, what is .doc? Document. Okay, what is .ppt? PowerPoint presentation. Then what is .html? Hypertext markup language. In the web pages, you see this, right? Then what is .pdf? PDF is a PDF because it is a PDF. Right? That's what we usually say. PDF is portable document format, right? So every file has a file extension. So similarly, Excel also has the file extensions. Most commonly used file extensions are 4 in Excel. XLS, XLSX, XLSM, XLSB. These are the most commonly used file extensions. XLS, XLSX, XLSM, and XLSB. So what are these things? Why do I need to work with 4 different file extensions? So each one of these file extensions have got their respective jobs to do. If you are seeing a .xls file extension, understand that it belongs to that 1997 to 2003 version of Excel. Very much outdated, almost like 21 years ago, we used to have this extension, right? 1997 to 2003 file extension. What all it can store? It can store data and macros. Data, we all know. Numbers and text content, whatever we enter, it is data. Then how about macros? Anyone knows macro? The word macro? Coding. I'll show you one example so that you will understand what is a macro. So this 1997 to 2003 extension XLS, this can store both data and macros. But from these extensions, XLSX, XLSM, XLSB, these 3 extensions are available from 2007 version of Excel. From 2007 version onwards till the current version 2021 or Office 365, we have these 3 file extensions only. What are they? XLSX, XLSM, XLSB. These are the recent file extensions. Okay. So what is that it can store? XLSX can store the data but not macros. Okay. XLSX can store what? Data but not macros. It can't store macros. I'll show you what is a macro. When it comes to XLSM, it can store data as well as macros. When it comes to XLSB also, it can also store data and macros, and it can also store the workbook in the binary format. Okay. What is this binary format? Basically to reduce the file size. I'll give you a simple example here. You have a 22 MB Excel file. Okay. 22 MB Excel file. You need to send it to your client. Client is there in USA. Via email, you need to send it. You need to simply attach it to the email and send it. But the challenge is your company emailing servers, they have a size limitation that only a 20 MB file can be attached. But your data is 22 MB file. Can you delete some data and send it to the client? No, you can't do that. then what is that you need to do? You need to figure out a way to compress the file size. Then you need to do what? Same file, do a save as in Excel SB format so that the file size can be compressed. Maybe a 22 MB file will become around 16 MB or 15 MB. So you will see some space savings there if it is XLSP. So XLS is an outdated one, 1997 to 2003 we had this. It can store data and macros. XLSX is a new one available from 2007 onwards. It can store only data but not macros. XLSM can store both data and macros. XLSB also can store data and macros. And along with that, it can also compress the file size. I get a question here. Almost everything is working with macros except this. Okay. And I also need to show you what is a macro, right? So let me show you the macro and then you will understand what is the macro. Okay, let me just delete all these files. The requirement is this. You have a good 80 customers files data here. Okay, 80 customer files. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to apply a filter, pick up each and every customer. Okay, there is something called filter. Okay, I will learn these things anyways. Okay, what you need to do, pick up each and every customer, copy the data. You need to create a new workbook. Any idea what is a new workbook shortcut? Control N. N for new, right? Control N. Paste the data. Rename the sheet as ALFKI. Once that is done, go to File, Save As. Okay. And in this, the recent places, macros training. So here I want to save it. Okay. I'll just save it here in the customer files folder as ALFKI. Same customer name. Save it. Once that is saved, close it. And what is the next thing you need to do? First customer is over. Go to the next customer. Same steps. Copy the data, create a new workbook, paste the data, rename it as ANATR, go File, Save As. In this recent places, macro customer files. What is that name? ANATR, right? Save it, close it, go to the next customer. And this way you will have to do this exercise for 80 customers. 80 customers, right? So if you want to complete this exercise, how much time would you need to get all the customer files? We were able to create only 2. How much time would you need to complete this exercise? If you need to do it manually, like this, 80 customer files if you need to create, how much time would you need?
Lot of time.
How much time? I need a number.
3 years.
3 hours, which means maybe 1 hour. Let's do this. Let's do this. A simple calculation. Let's do this. You're saying 1 hour. Each hour has 60 minutes and each minute has 60 seconds. So if I do this multiplies this, total number of seconds you got 3,600. How many files we need to create? 80 files. And if I do a 3,600 divided by 80, on an average, you need to create a file in 45 seconds. Sounds to be okay. Within 45 seconds, you should be able to do what? You need to filter the data, pick up the customer, copy the data, go to a new workbook, create a new workbook, go to the new workbook, paste the data, rename the sheet, save the file, close the file, come back. Almost like 10 steps you need to perform in 45 seconds. That looks like okay, right? But tell me, can you guarantee 100% accuracy here? No. Customer name you may type incorrectly. Sometimes it also happens you copy one customer's data, but you may save it with some other customer name. You see that so many issues may arise. And other thing is that sometimes it also happens, you feel like, okay, all 80 files are done, right? And when you come to that folder, we just don't save this. When you come to that folder and see it, you find only 78 possible. 2 may be missing. And to check what all 2 are missing, then it will take more half an hour to find out that issue. You're getting the point. So many issues when you do these things manually. But what we can do is we can simply trigger a macro. Now understand what is a macro. Macro is an automation program. Okay. Do you see any repetitions in the things that we are doing there? Yes. What is that thing we are doing repeatedly? Filter the data, pick up the customer, copy, and all those steps repeatedly to be done for how many times? 80 times. Whenever you have this kind of a requirement, something needs to be done for more number of times, what you can do is you can automate that using macros. Let me click this button, okay? And if you go to that folder, we all felt this would take about 1 hour, right? To complete this. You look at that while I'm talking to you, I'm not doing anything. And while I'm talking to you, almost 20 plus files are done already, right? We all felt at least we require 1 hour to process this, but this macro doesn't even take 1 minute, if I'm not wrong. It's running, right? 45 files are done. Let's see. I can also speed it up, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's leave it with this speed. 60 files are done, more 20 to go. I'm not doing anything. I just clicked on that button. That's it. I know I programmed everything. It will create, right? The files 78, 79, 80. Done. In 47 seconds, close to half a second, a little over half a second, it was able to produce all the files. And by the way, this is 100% accurate data without any spelling mistakes, right? And I can open any of these, files, and I'll definitely find that first particular customer's data only, right? Every day spending 1 hour is good, or write a macro and get that output in less than 1 minute is good. Macro is good, right? But yeah, to write the macro, this is the language in the background, right? When you see this language for the first time, we get confused. Oh my God, what is this? What is that dim? What is that integer? What is that long? What is that string, right? What is that sub? Why few things in blue color? Why few things in black color? What is that rows dot count? What is that for? What is that customer loop? Right? When you see this one for the very first time, obviously it looks like that. But let me tell you one secret. Anyone who knows English can write this code. You no need to come from technical education background to do this. Though it's a programming language, if you sit on this programming language for a good 1 month time, you also can code. There is a process to learn this coding language also. So we also offer Microsoft this Excel VBA macros course also. If you want to automate your day-to-day job, this is a suggested course. You already have idea on Excel. Now you want to go for automations, then you can learn VBA course. Okay. This is our Excel VBA macros course. So Excel VBA. See, what is a macro? It's a program. If you want to create a program, you need a programming language, right? So which programming language we use? VBA. So the language that you see on the screen is VBA language, Visual Basic for Applications. What is this language? Visual Basic for Applications. So using this language, we can create different types of macros, right? It's comparatively very small macro. Usually the macros in the real time, you need to write 1,000 lines, 2,000 lines of code also. Okay. So this is Visual Basic for Applications language, and using which we can create the macros. And tell me, macros, are they good or bad? Why good? Because yeah, they take less time to process our work and all, right? Okay, hold on. You saw the macros only one side. There is other side also for the macros. What is a macro? is a program. When it comes to the programming, there are two types of programs, good programs and bad programs. What is a good program? Just now you have seen the example of a good program, wherein it was helping us to complete our work. But how about a bad program? What if I write a virus code? Using the same programming language, we can write the virus codes also. You're getting the point? So that's a bad program. So you need to be really careful about the macros. Okay, macros, we think that this is, something really great, but not every time. What if someone writes a virus program? You get the point, right? So that's the reason when it comes to the macros, there is in the macro security, they clearly suggest do not enable all the macros by default. The reason being why it's not recommended, potentially dangerous code can run. Macros are great, but when they are intended to, create to do some good things, but someone, a hacker is there to hack your system, a macro is created. Yeah, that also can do. You're getting the point. So you need to be really careful. So that is the reason Microsoft came up with an extension that is a macro-free workbook extension, Excelytics. This is only meant for data, no macros. While other, extensions are able to handle macros, but this particular extension doesn't store macros. So it is safe. Why? Because if something doesn't store macros, you don't need to worry about virus programs. But these three, you need to be really worried. Why? Because what if you received a file from unknown source that could contain some virus, So just be careful. Okay. So Excel-SX is the default extension of Excel files. Okay. So if you look at our Excel training program, every file is with what? Excel-SX, Excel-SX, Excel-SX. Why Excel-SX? Because this is Excel training program. But if you go to our macros training program, what should be there? XLSM, 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 XLSM. Why XLSM? Because this is macros training and there we need to store the codes, the macro codes, the VBA codes. What is the full form of VBA? Visual Basic for Applications. Perfect. So using this language, what is it we create? We create macro programs. Why do we work with macros? To automate our work so that we can save some time. Understood? Right. So the number of rows and columns also, they are like little different basis on the extensions that you see. .xls, this has 65,536 rows, 256 columns. XLSX, XLSM, XLSB, nothing but from 2007 onwards, these newer versions are there, right? They have 10,48,576 rows, 16,384 columns. Except D is the last column. If you go to the last column, except D, if you go to the last row, that is 10,48,576. I always used to think, why such a random number? 10,48,576, 10 lakh round figure. People also can easily remember, right? 65,000 round figure. Why 65,536? You get the point. So the reason being, these are not random numbers, by the way. The numbers that you see on the screen, they are not random. There is a 2 power logic in the background. You see that this is 2 power 16. This is 2 power 20. This is 2 power 8. This is 2 power 14. So each and everything is a 2 power 1. Okay, 2 power logic. Okay. Why? Because all our computers are, the binary systems are built using that 2 power logic only. That's the reason you see the memory devices also. 1 GB you would have seen, 2 GB you would have seen. After 2 GB, 3 GB, is it? No, after 2, 4. After 4, 8. After 8, 16. 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024. You know what are they? 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4. 1024 is 2 power 10. Okay. So that's how, the number of rows and columns are there in the sheet. Don't get confused. This is 2 power 20 and this is 2 power 14. Is that clear? Right. Moving on to how big is our worksheet. I think now you know the row numbers and column numbers. There are so many rows and so many columns. Let's do one thing. Let's do a quick exercise here to understand how big is one worksheet. So one worksheet is this much, right? You know what is a worksheet already. And a workbook is a collection of multiple sheets. That also we understood. So I just want to understand how many cells are there. How to calculate how many cells are there? Let me try this. Let's do this calculation. So I have 10,48,576 rows, right? So I'll do something like this, equal to this rows multiplies columns. If I do, what it will return? Rows multiplies columns. It returns number of cells. Number of cells. So these many number of cells are there in one spreadsheet. Let's assume that if I want to spend 1 second on one cell, 1 second, and I want to touch every cell, 1 second here, 1 second here, 1 second here, 1 second here. If I want to spend 1 second on each cell, how many seconds I need to spend? These many seconds I need to spend, right? Let's see how big it is. If I spend 1 second on each cell, and if I want to touch the last cell, you know how much time it will take? 1 day? 10 days? Maybe 10 days. Let's see. Let's first of all find out how many seconds are there in 1 year time. Every calculation starts with equal to, right? We started our calculation with equal to. How to find out how many seconds are there in 1 year? How many days are there? 365 days multiplies. Each day has how many hours? 24 hours. Each hour has how many minutes? 60. Each minute has how many seconds? So you got these many seconds in 1 year. If you do a division, the total number of seconds needed divided by total number of seconds available in 1 year, you just need 545 years to touch the last cell. If you spend 1 second on each cell, just 1 second on each cell, 545 years. Imagine. And we are talking about only one spreadsheet. What is a workbook? Collection of multiple sheets, right? And here we go. Till 2003 version of Excel, nothing but that file extension XLSC is there, right? Up to, you can add, and the number of sheets can go only up to 256. Okay, maximum number of sheets you can add, up to 256 only, insert sheets. But the point is, from 2007 version of Excel, there is no limitation also. You can add as many as you want, as long as your hard disk supports. Okay, there is no such limitation. So understand how big is one worksheet. If you have so many sheets in one workbook, now you can imagine the capacity of one workbook. How many things it can handle, right? Are we good with this? Yes, got some idea now? Yes, so what we are going to learn, right? The history of the spreadsheet, who are the competitors, what are the file extensions, what is a macro? Okay, tell me, what is VBA?
Visual Basic for Application.
Visual Basic for Applications. It's a programming language. Using this programming language, what is it we do? We create macros. What is a macro? Macro is a program, right? Macro is a program. Excellent. Right then. Now you understood, right? Okay. How many rows are there in one spreadsheet?
And
1,48,500. At least remember an approximate number. What is the 10,48,576? It is equal to 2 power 20. Just in case in the interview, if the interviewer asks, do you know how many rows are there in XLSX spreadsheet? One thing you can answer 10,48,576. The other way you can answer is 2 power 20. But if you want to say 2 power 20, ask the interviewer to keep the calculator also ready. Because 2 power 20, who will directly do the calculation? Yes or no? So the power symbol, that is something like this, right? You can write 2 power 20, which is 10,48,576 only. Okay. Are we good with the basics of Excel? So far, is it fine? Everyone is able to follow? Yes? Okay, what is the very first Excel version name?
Multiplan.
Multiplan. When Excel was launched by Microsoft, they named it as multi-plan. Later they changed it. Okay. What is a file extension that doesn't support macros? Excel?
LSN.
XLSX.
Select.
Right. Which file extension most commonly used for macros?
XLSM.
XLSM. Though the other
XLS.
also they support, we most commonly use
XLSM.
XLSM. Perfect. Yeah, so that should be okay. Okay, if you want to compress the file size, which file extension is recommended? XLSB. Okay, done. Let's talk about the Excel user interface. This is also very much important for us to understand. It starts with title bar. Okay, what is the title bar here? See that? This is the title bar. This is where you see the name of the file. Excelytics, Excel training, right? That is the name. Done. Title bar. And then this is quick access toolbar. Okay, quick access toolbar. This particular area. So as the name says, quick access toolbar. That means you can quickly access any of the features of Excel using this toolbar. I'll show you how you can configure this. And then we have the ribbon. This is ribbon. These are the ribbon tabs. This is ribbon area. These are the ribbon tabs. In the ribbon tabs, each ribbon tab has groups. You see that home has clipboard group, font group, and insert has a tables group, controls group, right? Different types of groups available. And under the groups, you have the name box. This is where we can see the cell addresses, right? And then we have formula bar. You see that? FX. This is formula bar. We have the column labels ABCDs, row labels 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then we have the sheets. These are the sheets. We have the status bar. Currently, Excel is showing ready. Sometimes it shows calculating, or sometimes it shows getting the data from a web page or something like that. Different statuses it shows. But at this point, it is ready. Last one is the zooming options. You can zoom in and zoom out here using this. Okay. Title bar, quick access toolbar, ribbon tabs, groups, name box, formula bar, column labels, row labels, sheets, status bar, zooming options, right? This is what we need to remember. There is a reason why we just learn the navigation. Why? Because sometimes I say that go to the data tab, data tools group. Data tab, data tools group. Then what is it you need to do? You need to go to the ribbon data tab and find out data tools group. It's here. So this terminology helps us to easily navigate within Excel. So that's the reason, just practice it once. Okay. So this is all okay. The terminology, I'm finding it good, but there is something called QAT, quick access toolbar, quick access toolbar. So we need to learn how to use this quick access toolbar. So let me just clear off all these things. Okay, I want to apply borders here. Okay, what is it I can do? Select this, right? Go to this borders. Right, you can choose all borders. That is one way. But you can also do with the help of a hotkey. Nothing but by hitting one after the other keys, you can get it. When you hit Alt, home tab is for with character H. Borders is B. All borders is A. So that means if you hit Alt H B A, you can still get borders there, right? So Alt H B A, is it like looking easy or complex to remember Alt H B A? Easy, right? But I can show you a bit more easier way to do the same thing. This is what I do. First of all, I'll go to the borders feature. right click, I'll say that add to quick access toolbar. When I do that, borders feature will come there. If I want to apply the borders here in this range, I no need to use Alt HBA, or I no need to use the mouse and go there and click. What I can do is Alt, what is the number assigned for the borders here?
Right.
Alt 5. 5. If I hit Alt 5, borders applied. Okay. In this way, you can create your own shortcuts. Okay. Not only the borders, merge and center, you can do, you can do anything and everything. Okay. The advantage of using the quick access toolbar, instead of using a lengthy hotkey, Alt HBA, which one is easy to apply? Alt HBA is easy to apply, or Alt 4 is easy to apply, or Alt 5 is easy to apply? Alt and combination, right? So this is possible with the help of quick access toolbar, QAT, quick access toolbar. You can, do so many things there. Using the quick access toolbar, you can assign multiple shortcuts there. But what I recommend is assign a 5 to 6. Do not go for 15, 16, quick access toolbar features, because remembering that number is also challenging, right? Alt 5 is borders, Alt 15 is, you see, if you are adding so many things, you will only struggle. So use the features that are frequently used. Whatever the shortcuts you want to create, please make sure you create the shortcuts only for the ones you frequently use. Maybe once in 2 years, if you use that feature, it doesn't make any sense keeping it there, right? Now you understood what is quick access toolbar, how it helps. How do we need to add any of the things onto the quick access toolbar? How do we do that? Let's say merge and center. If I want to add, I'll go to merge and center, right click, add it. This is merge and center. If you don't want, let me show you how you can remove this. Right click, remove it. Right click, remove it. If you don't want something, remove it. If you want something, you can create it. So the quick access toolbar, really a great feature, okay, to quickly access the different features of Excel from one toolbar itself. Is it fine? Right. So just now we learned how to create our own shortcuts with the help of, Alt 5 or whatsoever. So if you take a look at this, shortcuts. Do you all use shortcuts in Excel? Why do we use shortcuts? Shortcuts.
To avoid mouse.
Hmm.
Complete the time, short amount of time.
Correct. To speed up the work, right, basically. Right? Shortcuts. Perfect. So if you want to read this table, see this, you need to read it like this, CTRL plus S. What does it do? Right, it saves it. If you do a CTRL plus P, what does it do? Print, Control P, right? Control C, Control X, Control V, Control Alt V also. What is this Control Alt V? It's a paste special. We'll talk about that as well, okay? So it is like very easy to read this shortcuts table, okay? This shortcuts table has got 160 shortcuts. Okay, before our next session, how many shortcuts can you learn? Let's exclude that 60 and can you go with 100? No? How many shortcuts can you remember? 30 to 40. Let me reveal you the secret here. It's not mandatory that you must need to learn each and every shortcut. There is a reason. Let's say, as per my work, I need to use certain shortcuts. As per your work, you need to use certain shortcuts. So these shortcuts may vary, depends on the kind of roles and responsibilities we are into. So it's not necessary that you need to learn each and every shortcut. Why? Because even if you learn it, can you use all these different things done daily basis? No, once in 2 months, once in 3 months, right? So there is no point learning each and every shortcut if you are not going to use it, right? Learn the shortcuts only if they are needed. And moreover, every day you need to work with this, then only use the shortcut. But otherwise, my recommendation is also just go to the mouse and select whatever you want. Okay, do not use or do not learn shortcuts if you do not use them daily or frequently. Okay, there is no point learning the shortcut. But this particular sheet has each and every shortcut available. And if you want to, what is it we say? If you want to learn so many shortcuts from the shortcuts sheet itself, you can learn because almost everything is there. Let's say if you want to apply the filters, remove the filters, what is the shortcut? Control Shift L. You see that? Almost every shortcut is present. Okay. So you can try this one, but not necessarily, not necessary that you need to learn everything. Okay. All right. So I'll do one thing. I'll show you two things and I'll leave those questions open for you. You need to do a little bit of research before attending next session. But for that, I'll have to discuss these two. I'll do one thing. Give me a sec. This material package, I think better I'll take it from. Okay, here we go. I want to do one small calculation here. What is it asking to do a multiplication here? A1 into 2. What is A1? This one, right? Into that star symbol is multiplication. 2. What is the result you are expecting? Tell me what is the result you are expecting? 6.
6.
Okay, that means 2, 3 or 6. Correct answer? How much is it? 2 3s are 5. 2 3s are 5 only, right? No, not 2 3s are not 5. But why actually saying 2 3s are 5? Looks like Excel is also on the weekend mood, not ready to work and show the correct outputs. Huh? Understand that the 3 is not 3. The 3 is not 3. Like confused. In my LKG, my teacher told me that it is 3, and now you are saying it is not 3. It is not 3. You know why? If you select this, do you know where the formula bar is? Right? Let me select. Is it 3 or 2.5? Correct. Always remember to find the original value, you need to look at formula bar, not on the cell. Don't look at this cell, okay? Why? Because on the cell, you see the display value. But in the formula bar, you see the original value. All the calculations, when you do, they use the original value, not the display value. What is the original value? 2.5. So 2.5 into 2, 5, which is correct. Understood? So this is the first rule. Always remember, don't trust the value that you see on the cell. I would like to show you one interesting thing now. If I input a 0, but that will appear as something else. Let me show you. Okay. I did something. I'll explain it anyways. When I input, let's say 2, it's 2. When I input -4, it's -4. But when I input 0, 0 should appear 0, right? How much I type? 0. But how much is it showing? 5. I think for the first time you are seeing Excel in a little different way. Always we see Excel, whatever you input, it shows the same thing. Not necessarily. You can confuse your colleagues if you are working somewhere. Now I'll anyway show you this technique of converting the given thing into a different value altogether, right? So I'll show you that in the custom number formatting. But you understood, right? A 0 can appear, right? You may be thinking like this. If I do a, 5 plus 5, how much? 10, right? 5 plus 5 is equal to 5. Why? Because this 5 is not 5. How much? It is 0. Why it is 0? Because I formatted it to make it appear like 5. See, with Excel, so many tricky things you can do like this. Right? It's just like an introduction for you, okay? So the other thing, let's try this. I want to do the sum of these three. How much? 60. I told you, right? Don't trust the value that you see on the cell. Is it 10? 10 or not?
10.
Is it 20?
7.
Then what could be the next one? 30? That's how you got 0 there? Minus 30. Good guess, but a wrong guess. It's plus 30 only. It is plus 10, plus 20, plus 30 is equal to 0. Is it okay? Excel is not at all working as expected today. Right? When you have 10, 20, 30 and you do the sum, what it should give? 60 it should give. What is it showing? 0 it is showing. Why? Because they are not 10, 20, 30. But in the formula bar also they appear as 10, 20, 30 only, right? That's what we just learned. Yes or no? But I still say that they are not 10, 20, 30. Okay. Why they are not 10, 20, 30? Let's take a look at this. A few of you are working, right? Yes. Working? You have an employee ID in your company? Yes. What's your employee ID?
Yeah.
Hmm.
0.
Hmm.
2009.
Okay. Area 03. Okay. Any other employee ID that has only the numbers?
2142.
21?
2142.
21420. My question is this: why did you say 21420? Why not 21,420? You get the point. Even if you say 21,420, I would type the same number, right? Why did you say 21420? That's how you remember it. Okay, no problem. So tell me any of your mobile numbers. Anything. Anything. Randomly, anything. Mobile number. 6302 63 5667. Why not 630 crore 26 lakh 35,667? Why didn't you say this way? Oh, to easily remember, you remember it like 6302 635667. Okay, to remember because it's too lengthy. Okay, what's your bank balance? Come on. I'll set the context first. You're a HSBC Global CEO. You just got your salary. Okay. Now tell me how much bank balance you have.
1 crore. 1 crore.
Even if it is 1 crore, it can't be a rounded figure. Tell me. 1 crore, 67 lakh, 84,000, 726. Okay. Now here we go. This is also lengthy only, right? Then why didn't you say 16784,726? Getting the point? What's your score in intermediate? Very difficult to remember. Right? Yeah, how much? The score in intermediate. Score I want, score. No, not the percentage. I want the score. 931. 931. Why not 931? Even if you say 931, I would type the same number, right? Why did you say 931? Okay, your bike or car last 4 digit, please. 0125. Okay, any other? 1234. Excellent. Yeah, 1234. My question is this: why did you say 1234? Why not 1234? You're getting the point? You're using these numbers in two different ways, not every time the same, right? Because all the numbers are not same. Before getting into data analytics, this is what you need to understand. On the report, whatever the numbers you see, they are not same. I can simply take you to, a couple of formulas equal to some, equal to average, hardly matters, right? But understand one thing, before getting into that level, you need to understand what is actually a number. Do you know what is a number? Even I had this question for so many years. What is a number? What is that we call a number? What is a number? We have been seeing these numbers right from the childhood, right? My question is very simple. What is a number? What is a number? I mean, that is what? What is that numerical value? What is a number?
Digits.
Yeah, what are those digits I'm asking you? What is a number? Excellent. See it? Anything which we add, subtract. Okay, here we go. Keep it much more simpler. What is a number? Anything allows you to do the calculation is a number. Arithmetic calculation, to be specific. Means additions, subtractions, multiplications, divisions. Anything allows you to do the calculations is a number. Right? Otherwise, it's not a number. Okay? So let's take a look at employee ID or employee number. Is it a number or not? Let's check. What is the number definition? Anything allows you to do the calculation is a number. So using the employee ID, can I do the calculations? Let's try. Your employee ID plus your colleague's employee ID. Does it make sense? So how does it make sense? No, right? So it is not a number. It's not a number. Okay, coming to the mobile number. Your mobile number divided by your friend's mobile number. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. Though we call it as a number, we can't do the calculations with the mobile number. What kind of calculation can you do? Your mobile number minus 100. What does it return? Right? But when it comes to bank balance, your bank balance minus 5,000. Make sense? Right. Your score divided by total score. Make sense? See, you see that when you do the calculations, if the result makes sense, they are numbers. Your bike number divided by your father's car number. We are calling them numbers only, but those numbers are not useful for the calculations. They are text formatted numbers. Okay. Using the text formatted numbers, you can't do the calculation. So that's the reason you do not tell these text formatted numbers with their value. You tell these text formatted numbers with their individual digits. Something like 21420 or 6302 something, right? Or 1234. But when it comes to an actual number, as it has some value, we tell that number with its value, 1 crore 67 lakh something. Now you get the point? We see a lot of examples around about these text format and numbers, right? Can you tell me a few examples of text format and numbers, something that looks like a number but not a number?
Bus number.
Bus number, okay.
Platform number.
Platform number, okay. And there are so many things.
Product ID.
Product ID, perfect. What else? Hall ticket number, excellent.
PNR number.
Train PNR number, yes.
Metro. Metro.
Metro?
Pillar number.
Metro pillar number, the challenge is metro pillar number in Hyderabad is the alphanumeric combination. Alphanumeric combination itself is text. But in few of the cities, metro pillar numbers are pure numbers. I mean, text format numbers. But in Hyderabad, metro pillar number is alphanumeric. Alphanumeric is text. Already text it is. Any other number? We call it a number, but we don't do the calculations. Aadhaar number. You see, we are forgetting one very important number. Come on. Once you get a job, you need to open something.
Age.
Hmm?
Age.
Age is a number. You can calculate. Yes or no? Can we calculate age? Oh, simple thing. You know, before saying a text format and number, test this. Age. Let's say your age is now 25, right? And if you, after 5 years, how old would you be? 30. So you are doing a plus. This will make sense. But Aadhaar card number, your Aadhaar card number plus 5. Bank account number, credit card number, debit card number, postal codes. And again, alphanumeric, so it is text directly. Something that looks like a pure number, but you can't do the calculations. OTP. Right, we can't do the calculations with that, right? So many numbers like this. Yes, someone mentioned just OTP. So many numbers like this. Right? In this world, almost a good 80% of the things we see the text formatted numbers only. Without realizing them, there are text formatted numbers. Tell me a few examples of actual numbers. Age, someone just said, okay, lucky.
Marks.
Time.
What is it?
Time.
Time, yes, time is a number. We can do the calculations with the time. Okay.
Date.
Date is a number. Okay.
Month.
Yeah, part of it. Okay. Trust me, you will struggle a lot. When I asked you text formatted numbers, at least you were able to come up with a few answers. You will struggle a lot with the actual numbers. Think. Rate of the product. Okay. Someone mentioned anything? Blood pressure, distance, heartbeat. Yes. All these things are actual numbers only. Using it, you can do the calculations. Okay.
Percentage marks.
Percentage. A registration ID is not an actual number. No. See why you are struggling in all this while we are living in a world. We see so many text formatted numbers around. That's why you answered it easily. That's why, you know, whenever join our Excel sessions, I say this. The real time, you know, troubles us a lot, right? Because the way we see things in our life and the way we need to work with the things in our office is going to be definitely different, right? This is where I call it welcome to the real world, right? The things that you see so far, what you have seen is different. From now, what is it, you know, you are going to see is going to be different. The numbers in the real time, you see a lot of different numbers. There are IDs, there are, a few numbers that you can use for the calculations. Sometimes you feel like that is useful for the calculation, but that is not useful for the calculation, right? In our dashboard sessions and all, we'll talk about that. At this point, you just try to understand there are two types of numbers in this world. All the numbers are not same. In English, there is a saying, right? All that glitters is not gold. In reporting analytics, you need to remember the same. All that looks like a number may not be a number, right? You need to do a few tests before confirming that whether it's a number or not, right? A simple test would be if you can add anything to it, that result makes sense, it's a number. Otherwise, no. Okay, got the point? Right. To differentiate which one is a number, which one is not a number, we have upcoming classes also. But you still should be left with this question like, why this is not working? Because these are text formatted numbers. If it is text formatted number, can I call 10, 20, 30? No. What is it I need to call them? 102030. They are 102030. That's all okay. I understand these are 102030. But how you manage to enter them there? You may get one more question, right? In Excel, if you type 102030, Excel actually recognize them as 10, 20, 30 only. But how I managed to get this, 102030, I'll explain that in the next session is about number formats. Because you need to understand more about the numbers. Once you are good with the numbers, rest of the world looks very, very easy. Rest of the, applications, Excel, Power BI, SQL, whatnot, everything, including the programming languages also, they look good if you are good with the numbers, right? Numbers are very powerful. Yes or no? What is a very powerful number in your life? What is a very powerful number in your life? 1. Okay. Is it lucky number or something? 0. Why 0 is a powerful number? Because on the right hand side of any number, if you add that 0, it will get into the next level, next digit. Was it?
100.
100 is a lucky number. Why?
Excellent motivation to give 100%. That's the next.
Okay. What is a very powerful number in your life? Your date of birth. Date of birth. Is it a powerful number? Date of birth, is it a number? Date, is it a number?
Yes.
Can we do the calculations with the dates? Yes, we can do the calculations with the dates, right? So we can add the dates, we can subtract the dates. So date is a number. So why I say your date of birth is a very powerful number because we all are alive because of our date of birth only today.
Yes.
Yes or no? What if our date of birth is 1857 here? We can't be here, right? It's as simple as the chase of numbers in our life also, started as soon as we were born. Our life itself starts with a number. And after that, we joined, after a few years, we joined the schools. There we have started chasing another set of numbers. What are they? In the schools, we used to chase what?
Yes.
Marks. Marks are numbers. As a result of marks, we used to get worried about one more number. Rank, where do I stand? Where does my friend stand? After a great difficulty, we all completed schooling, graduation, and finally out of the college. And now we are searching for a job and you got a job. Now we are worried about one more number. Salary. Salary is a number. You work there for 1 year. You are now worried about one more number.
Experience.
No, not experience. In that company, you work there for 1 year and you expect something, right? Increment percentage is a number. In this chase of numbers, you are forgetting about one more number. Very important number. Age, we are getting older, right? Finally, we all die one day. Date of death. Yeah, that's also a number. Yeah, if you do a date of death minus date of birth is equal to the total duration. Life starts with a number, ends with a number. Not only for the business, As an individual also, numbers are very, very important for us, right? So understand the numbers, power of numbers. And in the upcoming sessions, I'm going to talk about more about the numbers and number formats and how to identify them. Once we are clear with this, Excel looks cakewalk. It's too easy. Writing formulas is going to be easy. You don't need to by heart anything. By the way, I'll also include a couple of sessions on ChatGPT and AI, how we can make, take the help of ChatGPT. But that ChatGPT and AI should be your last option. We all have our human intelligence, right? Let us use that first. And if it is not working, then we'll take the AI, artificial intelligence help. So I'll also show you how you can prompt to get the correct output from AI. Okay, we'll cover that also. Right? For today, is it fine? Everything, whatever you learned. So going forward, whenever you see any board, anything, what should come into your mind? Is it actually a number or a text formatting number? Can I do the calculations and these things? I mean, that's how I see things. What kind of text, what kind of data types are around, I see text content, I see numbers, that's how I see things. Start practicing them, right? In Excel, in the upcoming session, we'll talk about the data types. Once you are clear about the data types, Excel looks very easy. Most of us, where we do the mistake is without understanding the data type, we try to, work with Excel. That is the problem. That is the main problem. Okay. Any questions? Okay, then. So all of you got the material package? If not, talk to the front office. They will share the same material. Go through once again, practice that. So we will catch up on Monday. As I said, this is going to run only from Monday to Friday. So please make sure you practice. Just download the material and go through all those things once. Okay. As we haven't discussed much content, it's all okay. But make sure daily basis you need to practice. Okay. Cool then. So if you don't have any questions, I'm done. Okay, excellent then. Thanks everyone, and download the material. Yeah, just have a word with the front office, and I'll share the front office number here. Just give them a call. Right. Yes. You can give a call to that number, ask for the material, and from the Google Drive, you can download it. Okay. So thanks for attending, and you have a happy weekend. I'll see you all on Monday. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.